So today I'm gonna do a 1-year review. Around this time last year I did like a first ride review of my Daytona 675R 2016, and now I'm going to do like a 1-year review and some of the things that I've changed on it. So ever since I got the bike, and for a long time after that, I found it was quite uncomfortable and almost unrideable for the way I ride. I regularly do just commuting and things like that. So it wasn't until recently where I started making changes to the bike, and now it's a lot more comfortable, a lot more rideable for the commuting. So I'm gonna share a lot of what I've changed to make this bike better. Yeah, so welcome to my channel where we talk about bikes and Bible verses. And as usual, we're gonna share a Bible verse at the end, so please stick around for that. But today I'm going to talk about the things that I've changed to make this bike more comfortable and rideable, especially comparing it to my old ZX6 that I had, which was a lot more comfortable, even though it's also the same class bike. The first change that I did on this bike that is a must do if you have a Triumph, I think, especially these ones, is the levers. So first of all, the original Triumph levers look like rubbish. They look like oversized and bulky, and the color doesn't look good. And the second thing about them is that the bite point for the clutch is really high up. So and there's no way to adjust it. I even rang the service person for Triumph. The answer was it's got a quick shifter, so essentially what they're saying is we can't do anything about it, you just need to live with it. Because I do commuting and things, and I've got like this long, I've got this like steep driveway at my home, it was too difficult because the bite point was so far up and so short, and like my hands aren't that big. Plus with the glove, sometimes I open my hand and there's still no friction at all. I'd fully open my hand, there'll be no friction. So I've got these Evotech levers, which not only they look really good, but they're fully adjustable. I've got them adjusted halfway, and the bite point is halfway. The second issues that I had with this bike was like the choppy throttle, or the snatchy throttle, and the smell that I've been complaining. So all of these were related to the exhaust and the tune that was on this bike. So it was a raised only exhaust, you couldn't put a baffle in it, so one, it was too loud, and I only just put the original exhaust on today. This is the first time I'm riding it with the original exhaust, and I noticed that the quick shifter is working actually better, probably because the throttle's not as snatchy. Just the characteristics of the engine has changed. The other problem I had with this bike was that it would, if I would just blip the throttle, it would wanna like cut out, and sometimes it would stall. And I've also, it had like a power commander, but I've zeroed that out. But I've still got that issue, so I don't know if it's just a inherent issue with the bike, or maybe since I've got the power commander still connected, maybe that's why. I still notice a bit of a cutout, when you blip the throttle, on idle, and that affects, when you just want to take off, like if you're sitting at a traffic light or something. And the smell that I always complain about, you know, being overwhelmed with this toxic, this dry exhaust smell, I think has improved as well since I put the original back on. And I made another video about why, because of the back pressure and things like that. I'll put the video card at the end of this if you want to watch that, if you're interested about exhaust back pressure and how that works. Now I've got the back pressure in the exhaust because it's original. You know, I've got a little you can see the X-up valve, hopefully you can see the X-up valve in the camera shots that I've got, opening and closing while I'm riding. Maybe if I ride a bit aggressively, maybe you could see that exhaust X-up opening and closing. But it's not as rev happy as well. So last time with the, you know, higher flowing exhaust at higher revs, it was very rev happy. You wanted to sort of jump up there in the revs. Now it's not. It's just normal. It's just like a normal stock sport bike, compared, you know, in comparison. And actually it's a little too quiet. I mean, my SC exhaust was a bit too loud, but this one's a little bit quiet and boring. So I don't know what I'm gonna do. You know, ideally I would like something that's in between what I've got now and what I had before. The third issue that I had, which was sort of where I complained that the bike is not really rideable, is I was saying that the handling, like it's like the bike was driving me, not I'm driving the bike. However, I think that comes down to like either the tire pressures or the actual type of tires. So those sorts of things you could easily change. And when you go and buy tires, you need to look and do like background reviews on how different tires feel. They make a massive difference on the type of tire that you use. So the tire that I had before was a more aggressive tip in. The one I've got now, Angel GT2, it's a rain tire, and it's a lot more progressive and softer with the turning. So it all comes down to the tires you choose. As a side note though, I made a video about this before, but you should always be careful about the tire that you do choose. Don't choose one of those 80% track tires and ride around on the street, because on those cold days, those cold rainy days, and you're just getting started when your tires are cold, there is very, very little traction. There is almost zero traction. So you need to be careful about that. Like if you're only like a fair weather rider and you only ride on like warm days and stuff, well, maybe you can get away with those track type tires. Like I'm talking, Diablo Rosso and Michelin Power series. So I avoid them because I pretty much commute. I get up, I go to work when it's cold, like 6 degrees Celsius, wet road. I want to have traction straight away. I don't want to have to warm up my tires. I've been in some pretty like sketchy situations with those little race tires. So far they're the things that I've addressed with this bike, and this bike is a lot more comfortable and rideable after I've made these changes. I think the only other change I would want to make is the mirrors. So right now I have to like bob my head up and down just so I can see what's behind me. I'm thinking of getting like those Rizoma type aftermarket mirrors. I think they're a good quality one, and I want to adjust it in a way that I can just see a lot better without having to move my head, just sort of glance and just see what's behind me. And the other good thing is, well, I don't know if it's a good thing, but when I bought the bike, one of the mirrors is already like cracked, the one on the right. So I guess that kind of justifies new mirrors as well. So yeah, that's everything about the bike. I'm pretty happy with it. Once I get the mirrors, it'll be great, you know, be very comfortable, happy to commute in work with it. So we'll finish up with a Bible verse, and that's from Romans chapter 8 verse 18. So I'll count all this current suffering as worth nothing compared with our future glory revealed. To me, what that verse means is it makes us think like how short life is. You know, I've had something recent happen to a friend, and it makes you think like how short actually life is. You know, life is not that long, and really how we live now is going to determine a long term afterwards. You know, after this life there's another life, and we need to be accountable for what we do. So whether we give in to temptations, whether we want to live in pleasures, you know, sinful you know, things that we like but would make us guilty of wrongdoing. And so it's better to like persevere, and you know, it's a short life. Persevere now, and then in the afterlife we can look back at something that you're proud of. So that's kind of what that verse means. You know, even if it's giving up certain things, certain luxuries and wealth and things like that, or maybe not gaining wealth in the wrong way. So anyway, that's all I wanted to talk about. So like I said, with this bike, I'm pretty happy. In the first 9 months I considered it unrideable, but I still used to ride it, but like it wasn't comfortable at all, with the abruptness of the throttle and a lot of things like that. But now I'm really comfortable with it. So if you like my video, please don't forget to hit the like. Please make a comment. So these sorts of things like liking and subscribing if you like my content in general. This helps my channel a lot. Like, I'm a small channel, just trying to grow and put out a good message out there, and also help riders. So yeah, please like and subscribe, make a comment, and take it easy and ride safe.